We can all agree Capcom's Resident Evil franchise has long been a staple in the world of survival horror. I mean, from its early days on the PlayStation to its current dominance with recent releases like Resident Evil Village, the series has continually evolved. But in a surprising turn of events at Anime Expo 2025, Capcom unveiled Resident Evil Survival Unit, a real-time strategy spin-off that immediately caught fans' attention. However, this announcement came with mixed reactions, especially with the game being a mobile title, diverging from expectations for a traditional console or PC experience. Let's dive into the new details of Resident Evil Survival Unit, explore the fan reactions, and understand what makes it both exciting and controversial. What is Resident Evil Survival Unit? At its core, Resident Evil Survival Unit is a departure from the traditional survival horror gameplay that the franchise is known for. Instead of the tense, atmospheric combat and puzzle-solving mechanics that made Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 iconic, Survival Unit introduces a real-time strategy gameplay style. Developed by JOYCITY Corporation in collaboration with Capcom and co-published by Aniplex Inc., this new entry in the series targets both veteran Resident Evil fans and newcomers to the franchise. The story begins in a hospital where players take control of a character who has been experimented on by the notorious Umbrella Corporation. This introduction echoes the classic fixed camera style of earlier Resident Evil games, paying homage to the series' roots. However, once you escape the hospital, the gameplay shifts to an RTS mode, where you'll be tasked with managing resources, forming a team, and battling zombies. While the setting and characters draw heavily from the established Resident Evil lore, the gameplay mechanics differ greatly from the series' traditional formula. A familiar universe with a fresh twist. For longtime Resident Evil fans, the inclusion of familiar characters like Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy, Claire Redfield, and others is a welcome nod to the rich history of the franchise. However, Survival Unit introduces a new protagonist, an unnamed character who wakes up in the hospital. The plot involves uncovering an artifact tied to Umbrella's sinister activities, setting off a chain of events that explores deeper conspiracies within the Resident Evil universe. While the shift to a strategy game may alienate some, the character-driven narrative and familiar settings offer a sense of continuity. The hospital, with its eerie atmosphere, recalls the classic Resident Evil environments, allowing fans to experience that same tension and horror, though through a different lens. The mobile gaming controversy. The most significant point of contention surrounding Resident Evil Survival Unit is its platform choice. Despite Capcom's massive success with console and PC games, Survival Unit is designed as a mobile game for iOS and Android devices. This decision has sparked debate within the Resident Evil community. For many, mobile gaming is still associated with lower quality graphics, microtransactions, and simplified gameplay. These perceptions can be detrimental, especially for a franchise as established as Resident Evil. Many fans had hoped for a more traditional console or PC release, perhaps with Resident Evil 9 or a new major entry in the franchise, rather than a mobile game. Moreover, mobile games tend to be more casual and accessible, which doesn't always mesh well with the deeply immersive and intense experiences that Resident Evil games typically deliver. The idea of a pay-to-win mechanic, a common feature in mobile strategy games, has raised concerns about how Survival Unit will balance its in-game purchases. In-game purchases and monetization. As with many mobile games, Survival Unit will feature in-game purchases. The exact nature of these transactions is still unclear, but the rumors of pay-to-win elements have created a divide among the fanbase. In an era where mobile games are often criticized for their monetization strategies, Survival Unit will need to carefully balance its pricing model to avoid alienating players. However, it's worth noting that this game will be free to download, which could help mitigate some of the backlash. By offering a free-to-play experience, Resident Evil Survival Unit might attract more casual players who wouldn't typically invest in a full-priced console or PC title. Nevertheless, if the game's progression system becomes too reliant on in-app purchases, it may struggle to win over Resident Evil purists. Gameplay mechanics and features. Survival Unit breaks away from the established formula by incorporating elements of city building and resource management into its RTS mechanics. I feel the RTS aspect feels like a significant departure from the Resident Evil series' roots, which have always focused on direct, action-driven combat. Survival Unit offers several features that aim to deliver an exciting experience despite its mobile platform. Players will experience real-time combat as they deploy their team to fight waves of zombies. Using resources efficiently, building a strong team, and adapting to different challenges will be key to survival. The game also includes puzzles, similar to what Resident Evil fans are accustomed to, though with the added twist of strategy elements. The hybrid nature of Survival Unit is what sets it apart. Apart from killing zombies, players will need to think about team composition, resource management, and tactical deployment. This innovative approach could breathe new life into the series, especially if it successfully combines the thrill of Resident Evil with the depth of real-time strategy gameplay. Potential success despite mixed reactions. While Resident Evil Survival Unit may not be the traditional game that fans were hoping for, there's still potential for it to succeed in the mobile market. The game's ability to appeal to both hardcore Resident Evil fans and casual gamers could help it gain traction, especially in regions where mobile gaming is incredibly popular. The familiarity of the Resident Evil universe, combined with a fresh gameplay approach, could attract a diverse audience. Moreover, if Capcom and JOYCITY can strike the right balance between strategy and the horror elements that make Resident Evil so iconic, Survival Unit could carve out a niche in the mobile gaming space. It's clear that Capcom is trying to experiment with new ideas, and though this may not be the Resident Evil title fans were expecting, it could still offer something worthwhile. Whether it becomes a hit or not will depend on how well it balances the new gameplay with the classic elements that fans love.